there. Welcome to another Addicted Fishing podcast. We're sitting here on another beautiful spring day where we should be out doing a live feed on the water.
Might be the first one.
It should have been the first one. We kind of
It's a bit breezy out there, though.
I feel kind of denied a privilege.
Yeah, it is.
Well, guess what?
Jared.
There's a lot of year left, Jared.
There is,
and then now we have an excuse to get you back. We'll go out and do those live feeds on the water. We'll catch
that'd be great.
Bass, shad.
I'm all for it. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You need to bring your super tanker down here.
Yeah, bro. I can bring it down. We can put like a ton of people in. I just told Jordan I was going to add 2 more rods to the bow so I can fish 9.
Well, yeah.
He's going into the commercial zone.
Yeah, I'm going to commercial.
Going right to the harbor zone, the Willamette.
They
2
say
poles.
3 hooks per rod. That's 27 by my math.
Dude, you're just snagging them at that point, baby.
Paddle fishing. Yeah, paddle fishing.
Well, everybody, if you didn't already notice the voice, we have Jared Higginbotham from Yakima Baits in here, an awesome partner of ours. And it's a party.
Yeah.
It's a party.
As
We
always.
got a couple of beers and some dinner before we showed up here. Showed up late. Cameron was waiting for us, and now we're here to talk all kinds of fishing.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun afternoon.
Yeah.
How was your day, Cameron?
Fantastic. Because it was the last day of Columbia River Springer fishing, and I'm happy for
I
that.
heard you hooked 4 in 1 pass. Room around the street.
Yeah. No, we killed 4 in 1 pass. We hooked a few more. It was
That
savage.
does not surprise
It
me.
was savage. It
Yeah.
was a good day. It was a good day. But
Half the time I look at your boat, I
wish-
see like gone catting, and it's just because there's usually a net in front of the part.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the reason why I'm happy the Columbia season's over is because don't fall for it, folks. It was a grinder of a year.
Yeah.
It was a tough season out there. I mean, there was a lot of fish, but some days they'd go, and then you'd have a really good day. You'd kill 5, and you'd be thinking the next day you were going to do it again, and then, back to 2, back to reality. But springers are humblers.
Yeah, they're a grind, bro. I mean, I fished Lower River, dude, and I made a 22-mile run one day from Cathlamet to Tongue Point. And, dude, I marked so many, because the tides, dude, it just looks right, just like fall fishing. I thought, I got to look, right? And so I put the hammer down and got down there, and I marked fish everywhere, dude. Like, I mean, they were all over, but they would not chew. They would not, bro. 7 baits, running perfect, dude, spinning perfect, sending perfect, looking perfect, flash, the whole deal. They just wouldn't chew, bro. But the ones we did catch, man, they'd have, 10, 12 smelt and 2 cannel fish in their belly. So they were full. I mean, but I eat when I'm full, so I don't know what's wrong with them springers. That ain't right. That ain't fair. I'm just like, that's not cool. But that's springer fishing. Yeah.
That is springer fishing. They'll sit there and look at you and laugh. And
bro.
Whatever, some idle
They're
afternoon during the max ebb, they'll just snap like crazy. And
Yeah.
But I guess that's why they're also the most sought after fish in the Columbia River.
Yeah, it's a challenge, bro. You know what I mean? And I think that the people that you go through it with on that daily that are willing to get out there at, 6 a.m. and sit in the rain while we rig gear, and then, the same people that are getting off the docks at 6 p.m. that are just happy to be there, bro.
Yeah.
That's what springers are. It's like an elk camp.
The ones that are calling you like, oh, I want to go springer fishing. It's like, it's March 8th. Like, I don't want to take you springer fishing.
Sure?
No,
Are you sure?
let's just go give it. No, you don't understand. It's March 8th.
Yeah.
Like, you saw like 3 Facebook posts like last month. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go.
Yeah, there were 6,429 rods and if you want to go.
Let's do it. So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. There's a chance. It's coming. It's coming.
Oh.
Yeah. But I think that's part of the fun, too. Like I said, man, when you get that, the difference that I find between fall fish and springers for sure is that fall fish, as soon as that fish hits the deck, people are like, get them back out. And springers, everybody's like, yeah, woo. And you high five for 9 minutes and you take a photo and everybody's like, this is the awesomest thing ever. And you check baits and you put them back in so cautiously, right? To where fall fish is just like, dump them.
Yeah. You're just meat fishing at that point.
Well, that's the difference.
We're going for 100 pounds today, boys.
But I think that's where it's, like I said, reward for the whole boat. And that's the funnest part, I mean, everybody's happy because everybody puts in the work, especially my little guy. I mean, he's deckhand for free 24 hours a day. And so he does all this work and, he hasn't caught one yet either, but he's seen a few caught, and I know it irritates him, but he's still happy because he knows he was part of it.
It's a team effort out there for sure.
Well, I got my first and last on the last day.
Yeah.
This is how it goes.
That's how it goes, bro. So you can be happy.
The best day of the season. You're probably smart enough to wait. Plenty of steelhead and trout beforehand. Yes.
Yeah.
But now that that's over,
Yeah.
there's a lot of other stuff to do.
And that's why we brought Jared in.
We enjoyed our winter. I think we can all say that. But I have not been quite this excited for summertime in quite a long time. And there's really no reason, but I think it's just for the love of trout fishing. For the love of trout fishing.
For the love of
I can't wait
trout.
to get on a
For
mountain.
the love of trout. I like to catch them by the dozens. I love trout fishing, man. It's just fun. I mean, it's where everybody kind of started, right? And then the thing cool trout fishing is pretty much everybody in every state in the country and out of the country can relate.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't relate to like a spring Chinook or a winter steelhead or a summer steelhead. They don't know what an A run or a B run is, but they know what a rainbow is.
Yeah. And it brings the environment of what trout fishing means and what it involves. And that's part of, I think, what we really like about Chinook salmon fishing or steelhead fishing in certain aspects is what time of year you're out there, who you're around, what you're doing, what kind of craft you're in. And that's, I think, what the biggest part of why I love the trout fishing is just where it takes you. You go to places that you're not used to going. You're usually adventuring. You're usually just kind of dinking around and looking for fish. You're not going to a spot you have the best chance of getting them. It's more in the sense of adventure and camping and again, high mountain lakes and good weather and cool nights around the campfire, and that is just the essence of what trout fishing is, as compared to most salmon and steelhead, which is so serious. It's a better way to just not take it so serious. And
there's a lot less pressure, right?
Yeah.
A lot less pressure. And the cool thing about trout fishing versus salmon steel fishing is like if all of us are going springer fishing tomorrow and say we're all fishing 7 rods, I can guarantee you that like 5 out of our 7 rods are going to have a triangle flasher and a herring. But we can choose what method we want to really catch the trout in, right? Like, can we catch them on a rooster tail? Sure. Can you catch them on a super cut plug or a kokanee cut plug? Sure. Can you catch them on a Dodger with a hoochie? Sure. Can you catch them on plugs? Sure. Power bait and a corky? Sure. Right? Like, however you want to fish them, right? Like, there's not this dedicated method that you have to stick to this plan to get bit, Well,
that could be irritating. It's convenient, but it's irritating to me sometimes, even a fishing guide, when you're like only getting them on one color bead. And you keep switching your guys up so that like, this guy might catch a fish or this guy. But when you can go out and you have those days where you get them on the jig, you get them on the worm, you get them on the on a bead, you get them on everything. That's satisfying, in my opinion. You get them on a spinner.
It is,
and that is the beauty of the trout fishing, where it's like, wow, we caught a couple. Let's switch it up. I want to catch them a different way.
Yeah,
Well, henceforth the dry fly too. I mean, you talk about like technique specific fisheries where people get real nerdy about that, where they can catch them. Like you said, rooster, but then the dry fly comes out, or then the rooster.
And who doesn't want to catch? I mean, who doesn't want to watch a fish explode on a bait that you've got presented at the end of a line on a dry fly, right? Like, and watch it eat it, right? Like, watch it eat it. You know what I mean? I mean, that side fishing thing is pretty cool. And so whatever method, tickles your fancy. Like I was telling Jordan on the way here, is like, I mean, people ask me all the time what I do for a living. I'm like, I sell fun.
Yeah.
I sell fun, dude. I mean, I sell lures for every species of fish pretty much on the planet. And I sell fun to everybody. Everybody that buys my stuff, it's fun, right? Like, I'm not coming to your house trying to sell you a vacuum. It's like, you want to buy a fishing lure and go fishing. It's fun. And the trout fishing thing is fun. That's where a lot of it started. And it's still so rewarding, like, especially like when you're pulling plugs in a drift boat. We've done that a bunch of times this year, man. And pulling plugs in a drift boat on light rods and watching that rod just smash the water, knowing in your mind, it's a 12 to an 18-inch trout, but like in your soul, you're like, it's a giant. That's it hit my plug. It's a takedown, right? And the plug takedown just gets your blood boiling. So whatever it is that makes you happy. That's the cool part about trout fishing. It just makes it fun. And the pressure's off, right? Like, it's just so much less maintenance. And
when we live on the West Coast too, it is iconic to just be interested in trout as it is in the world. But and I think that's probably what I had the most fun, especially with like our coastal cutthroat that we have on around where we live. It's just, again, going away from the boat ramps and the crowds and everything, and just going out with the dog and a backpack with some food and some gear and just having fun, and not taking it so serious, not having it be a competition with yourself more so than just every angler out there. You know what I mean?
I think that all of us are like, I know Cam's intense. I know you're intense when you're like fishing salmon, because we see each other, on the rivers all the time, right? And so I think that's that time where you can like step away from being, in the fishing industry necessarily, right? Like whether you're a guide or a manufacturer or a factory representative or like YouTube, whatever, right? Like where you can just step away and you can fish. Like you were 7 years old on a bank with, sitting on your butt in the dirt with ants crawling across you and, eating a half bag of Cheetos that have ants in it type thing. Right? You know what I mean?
A beanbag, half naked eating
Cheetos. But you know what I mean, though? I think that's what it brings to me, right? That's where that joy, it's more of a joy thing that comes back.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. And actually, we're going to go out tomorrow, everybody. So be on the lookout for an upcoming YouTube video where we're going to go out and we're going to try to pull the bucket list tomorrow. We're going to do our best to try to catch a salmon, trout, and a steelhead in the same day.
Yeah.
And who knows if it's going to happen, but this is the time of year that there's pretty good odds. I love spring. And going, hinting back towards the trout fishing, this time of year is my favorite to go hit. And a lot of times I go to like private lakes or different areas.
Sure.
Just any reservoir that stocks fish and has holdover fish.
Active,
and a lot of these fish start going on the spawn in this time of year, everybody. And a lot of times you'll find them in those freshwater inlets and some of those areas that have those big spawning flats. And going through and spending the day out on the lake, throwing rooster tails and flies, and like we said, switching to power bait and jigs, and finding fish that you don't commonly, a lot of us, when we go fishing, like you said, you expect to see that 12 to 18-inch fish. But the opportunity that the spring offers to go out and catch broodstock and those really big brooder fish and basically any reservoir, lake or pond that's around is a unique experience. And listening to the blackbirds and the meadowlarks and stuff out there, it's a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, and they stock them for put and take, man. I mean, for the most part, and you can go to your, WDFW, ODFW, whatever websites, and you can find out where they put these trout and when they're putting in, how many they planted, and so on and so forth, right? Like, I mean, so, it's an opportunity that they want you to take advantage of. And I think that the more people that take advantage of it, especially, in the Northwest, the more voices we're going to have, and the more they see these people going out and fishing, right? And so the more they're going to want to do that type of stuff, right? Like we got to start having a revolving door of good at some point, right? Like in these fisheries. And the trout one's a great one to take advantage of because it's a start for a lot of people to get out, And it's as simple as, looking in online and you guys have Addictive Videos or Addictive Fishing has so many videos out there to teach you how to trout fish, right? Like if you're like, I didn't know what to do, it's like, no, that's lazy trap. You have a phone, right? Like they've got 1,000, 2,000 videos, right? Like, and probably at least 200 of them dedicated to trout fishing. So it's like there's information out there, not just from them, from everybody else. So it's like take your kids or take your uncle, or take your grandma, or take your cousin, or take your whoever and go fish. It's simple.
Enjoy your sunny day.
Go fish. Go eat some fish. It's fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're there for you to take, and they're there for you to enjoy, and it does spread the love, and it does encourage that message that, especially here at Addicted, that we try to push all the way through every species of support is power. You know what I mean? And a community is power in making sure that because one day they can just say, oh, there's not enough people fishing for these fish or these stalker trout. Yeah. And unfortunately, quite realistically, that's not necessarily the case. Probably more people fishing these trout stocks than just about anything else these days. But those people are going to grow up to support the industry and support any form of fishing and any sort of movement to do the right thing for the outdoors and for the fisheries, And it just encourages a healthy environment for people to go enjoy, especially in times like these,
I would agree. I want to ask the legend, Cameron Black, what he thinks about trout fishing. He's been very quiet. He looks very content here listening to our trout conversation.
No, don't get me wrong. I was just thinking like this springtime, the last time I went on like a dedicated trout trip, went fly fishing down the had a ball.
Yeah, dude, why not?
Catching small trout, and just
awesome.
like you said, just very engaging, very like once you're there, you're not thinking about other things. You're just trying to catch a 9-inch trout.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to catch bigger ones, but they didn't want anything I was doing.
right.
But they're smarter than that.
Well,
so
they're smart fish.
My favorite Cameron trout memory was when he had his daughter out and we were running downriggers in 10 foot of water and hooking these trout bigger than we thought existed in this roadside lake and watching Paisley reel.
That's awesome, dude.
Getting your butt whooped. It was cool.
That is awesome, though.
Freaking out the whole time.
You put fishing rods in there?
Oh, yeah. She experienced. I opened the rod locker and she's like, "You put fishing rods?" It was freaked out.
Like, I always wondered.
I was like, "Yeah, I guess if you're 4, that's what you do."
With the trout. Fishing rods in there.
Yeah, no, it's fun, man. I think all fishing is fun, but the trout thing, it's just one of those. I don't know, man. All the trout, like you catch a bluegill and they're pretty much the same. A crappie, pretty much the same, but like trout, all their spots are different. Their specks are different. Their stripes are different. Their gills are different. Their tails are different, right? Like, from a planted trout to a wild trout to a brook trout to, all these different kinds of trout, it's just such a unique thing, right? Like, and each one is just kind of special in its own right. Similar to like a steelhead. They all have different markings if you actually pay attention instead of just kill it, So I think that's the cool thing about trout is it's just a unique fish in its right, and play chess with Mother Nature and win no matter at what level it's cool.
So on the theory of uniqueness, do you guys have anything new coming out for trout? Obviously, the Rooster Tail is best-selling trout lure maybe ever.
Yeah,
I know I use the hell out of them.
Yeah,
the world does. Is there anything on the docket here that people might get to use coming up in the summer?
So yeah, man, we got some a new lure in the category of trout and kokanee that is something that I guarantee you've never seen before, right? Like, in the history of lures, like it's pretty cool to have something unique in that category that no one's ever seen, like no one's ever done.
Gotta have it.
People may have thought about it, but no one's ever thought it would be like to that level. But the way we have it set up and the components we have on it, the way it's going to be marketed, it's going to be a pretty big deal, bro. Like it's super, super fishy, like super, like stupid fishy, like not funny. And there's only about maybe 5 people that know about it. Mr. Sam Baird, I'll give Sammy most of the credit, right? Like Sammy and he's such a cool cat, bro. He's like my little brother that I bail out of jail once a week. And he's just a good dude, but the guy is super sharp when it comes to fishing, right? And he had this idea, and so we worked together on it, and he put it together, man, and he shared it with a few of his very close friends, and it's really nuts, bro. Like what it's done, and like what I've seen from it, you know. And I do this for a living, you know, every day, right? Like I hear lure stories all the time, but it's pretty unique in this part of the world, in this way, in this fashion, and with the techniques that are around and about now, right, to relate to that. It's just, it's really, really cool, dude. And I can't wait to like kick it out and get it out. We've got all the homework done on it. We've got all the specs done on it. I've literally got the hooks and everything's done, right? It's just a matter of us getting caught up from normal production to be able to distribute something new and distribute it in a marketable and timely fashion.
Yeah, in a successful way.
And plus, you know, you want to get photos and you want to get all this stuff done, and you got to write some stuff about it, and you want to do videos on it. And you know, I think sharing part of the R&D process on how we get to this point is cool because you don't see that, right? Like, so
How long and grueling of a process.
it is a grueling process because you want to make sure it's right.
Everybody likes the drama. This is definitely a drama-filled thing in designing a product.
Oh, dude.
A lot of angry emails and
yeah. Well, yeah, and people are like, you know, dude, I got $1 million idea. I'm like, really? Do you know it's going to cost me $150,000 to get one in a package? As if you've thought about that at this point yet. $150,000 to get one in a package, and that's before I sell any there, homie.
yeah.
So, you know, it is a process, but, you know, I mean, from my standpoint, I've been doing this for 10 years, and so I've seen a lot of things throughout the industry, not just my products, but this one, dude, it's going to be a game changer, especially in the kokanee world, but it's cool. It's really, really cool, dude. And I don't get super excited about stuff much often. I was excited about the spin fish. That was super cool because I had something in that category, but the more I fish it, the more I hear about it, dude. It's really fishy. It's super cool and super easy. And this thing here is just right up there with it.
Nice.
Time frame.
So my goal is July 2023. I got 2 new products coming out in July 23 that are pretty much game changers, bro. So my good buddy Shane Maggs and I stopped by our mold maker today. Shane designed a new lure, and it is super cool, dude. It's super fishy, and it's a salmon trout steelhead kokanee or a salmon kokanee lure, but it's definitely, dude, that's one that's up there that's different and unique. Like it's
Always something.
yeah. And I've got like 6 or 8 pages of stuff on my docket at work of new items I can come out with, like that are legit, but I just don't have time.
Time, production capacity, testing capacity, and then seasonality too, you guys too, because just like with what we do with our products, I mean, you just got to have the seasons to like test it, and then generally by the time, I mean, you can't just launch, design, or can't just design, test, get prototypes, test it out, get marketing material like generally in one season.
No,
it just doesn't happen. That's why when you said July 2023, I was like, not surprised because it's just it is a long, arduous process, and we've even experienced a lot of that too. Just even with some of the stuff that we do that's not even like molded, and just some of, I would say, simpler products would be it's a challenge.
But you want to do it right when it comes out, right? Yep. And like, we've got 22,000 SKUs. 22,000. That's what Yakima Bait has, right? And so I'm in the process right now of analyzing the last 6 to 8 years sales each year in each color and each product in each size. So just to give you a little rundown, like say spin and glows, there's I think 212 colors of spin and glows in 10 sizes, bro. So that's 2,200 items. I have to go
fast.
Now those 2,200 items have 3 packs, 12 packs, 6 packs, 12 packs, 25 packs, and 100 packs. So immediately right there is 10,000 SKUs just in those that I have to review. But that's what I'm looking to do because I don't want these products on the markets that aren't catching fish, right? Like I want stuff on the market that is A, selling, and B, catching fish. And the consumers tell us that by that still.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say stuff that and we see it all the time, like stuff that comes out and it's like a flash in the pan, it's like the hottest thing, and then once people try it, like if it's not legit, like it quickly gets like sidelined.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
I mean, I'm not gonna say them, but I could think of a couple products that have been out in the last few years that like came out and everyone went, whoa, and then everyone tried and went, pass. And now I see them sitting on the shelves all the time.
Well, I've got products in my lineup right now that were, in the 80s and 90s top selling in the country, right? Like, doing hundreds of $1,000s worth of business that now do $5,000 a year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everything's evolving, but then you see like the older, some of the, we'll call it older, antiquated like products also like come back too.
They come back
because they worked. But I was talking about products that were definitely like hurried out in the launch.
Oh yeah,
and that didn't do what they
They didn't
They
do
kind
it,
of portrayed to do, and they don't even get that 30, 40 year longevity thing, like
No.
where they did good at one point. They're just not doing good.
Well, and,
And
you
that
know,
costs those companies a lot of money.
it costs them a lot of money. And, you know, the hardest part about that is so many people jump the gun because they're so excited to get it out, and they don't do the homework. And Buzz told me one thing all the time when we were doing R&D. He's like, we'd be doing this for literally 6 to 8 months. And I'm like, we're so close to being done. This is so badass. And he would turn to me and look like, okay, Jared, it's time to start over and reconfirm what we think we've learned. And I was like, what? And he's like, we need to do this all again just to make sure. And sure, we did. But I learned more about a plug and a flasher and how things work and how to design a product and how to really dive deep into it. Because everybody has these passions or whatever that they dive into that are just unique and different, right? And you go further than anybody else does, right? And so he kind of opened my mind to the way that should be done. And so I'm trying to take care of what he kind of set me up for and left me to make sure that when I bring a product to market, right? Like, you know, I mean, he's kind of my mentor and I want to make him proud too, right? You know, I mean, that's something that, you know, you look for as a goal, right? I want to make him proud when I come out with something to where he's like, that's awesome, dude. Good job. You know,
hit the nail on the head. Well, you're also a fishy dude, and that also helps too. You got fishermen that are actually designing products for fishermen. Yeah. You know, and I mean, you guys all know I put in the time, and my son puts in the time. And the cool thing is, man, he tells me all sorts of stuff all the time. I'll be thinking and so focused, right? And he'll be like, Dad, he goes, why don't you just switch out the weights and, you know, maybe add some leader or shorten your leader length, you know, and we'll get a different presentation. I'm like, that's actually a good idea, son. I mean, just simple things that you know, you get so focused and dialed, right? And so. And having him as a sounding board and the fact that he's been around me doing this my whole life, right? Like, it's kind of nice because I actually respect his opinion. So it's nice having that to bounce off of. And guys like Shane or yourselves or whoever, right, that I respect as a fisherman and, you know, I can send something to and you can give me dude, this sucks, or bro, this is money, or you should add this here, or if it ran faster, or maybe a smaller hook, or, you know, I mean, those types of things. That's what we all do, dude. We're all fishermen. We want the best products for everybody out there. That's why we're here teaching. So, yeah. You got to commit to it.
Yeah.
The last 2 seasons we've spent something. You know, we've been playing with salmon hooks like bead hooks, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it
Those
took
are great.
2 seasons to get that right.
Does.
And now that it's right, and I can confidently say that hook, like, I get more messages from guys that I would not think that I'd get messages from. They're like, you know what, that bead hook nailed it. But it took 2 full seasons before it like came out, and I think we're right now on the cusp of a hook that I committed like our whole guide season. Out in the ocean for coho, for bait, and then actually now this whole spring season, and I lost 3 fish on the line this year, like 3
on barbless
for
hooks.
the whole on barbless hooks.
Right.
Like, I'm so impressed with these hooks now. Like, if we don't make it, I'm gonna find someone to make them for me.
Yeah. Well, that's what it takes.
You know, but it's like, I've spent 2 seasons. You know, like, you spend that amount of time and that amount of commitment to just be like, well, this is either gonna work or I'm gonna look like an idiot.
Well, but that's what it
We're
takes.
Lose
man.
a lot of fish figuring this out.
You nailed it. You know, it takes that effort, and you know, like when I design a product, I mean, say if I'm designing a spinner, everything from the hook to the clevis to the bearing bead to the washer to the body to the beads to the blade to the wire,
Thickness of the blade,
the thickness of the blade, everything, right? Like, I look at all of those things to make sure, in my mind, that I know I will grab this out of a package off the shelf and fish it confidently. And that's what I look for. And, you know, I mean, like any manufacturer, you know, you have struggles, things, people go out of business, or this happens, or something breaks down, or blah, 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 blah. And you can't make this one, or it doesn't make right. And you don't realize it until you've sold 1,000 of them type thing, right? Like, and that happens. And that's manufacturing, right? Like, but we learn, you know, one thing I never take a customer's complaint as a negative. I take it as a positive, as a teaching experience and a learning experience for me to be better at my job. It's just like my guides, even pro staff guys, if they call me and say, I'm fishing competitor X's product today, dude, I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't care, man. I'm like, that's my fault, not yours. I'm like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, your job is to put fish in the boat for your clients. That's your job. You did that today. You did your job. If you're not fishing something that I designed, then I'm not doing my job. So I need to do my job better, right? So that drives me, right? Because I have respect for all you guys, and you know, a lot of other anglers out there just like yourselves that are guides or pro staff or just really fishy dudes. And so, you know, I take that to heart because, like I said, I want to make sure that when you guys put something on the end of a line, you guys, or just a standard, you know, just a consumer from Walmart or whatever, that they're getting the best quality product that Yakima Bait could put out.
Well, Jared, we thank you so much for that, because ultimately, like, I can tell you, like, I've used a lot of your products to kill a lot of fish over the years.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming in and shedding some light on that, guys.
Sure. And before we go, guys, just remember April 10th is the spring drop. There's a ton of new products, hats, T-shirts. There's some new micro worms coming out that you need to check out coming up for especially for this.
Isn't there like
trout fishing.
52 different hat designs?
Something like that.
If you said you didn't like any of our hat designs, you better check out this
just go
drop.
back on and check it
There's
out.
so
And
many.
hey, Marlon, if you want me to wear any addicted stuff, a 3X tall would be great, because if I wear a 1X, I'm going to look like Lance Armstrong and Chris Farley had a baby and put me in spandex. So give me a 3X tall, buddy. Tommy want addicted sweatshirt.
Well, thank you so much, Jared, for coming in.
Yes.
Spring drop April 10th. We'll see you on
Thanks,
the
fellas.
next
I
one,
appreciate
guys.
it.
Later, guys.